I am here outside the Basilica of Saint Sebastian, just outside of Rome. More incredible experiences going on, but in this particular basilica, I was struck by courage and something that I wanted to talk about. So while I know the story of Saint Sebastian, we got to go down in the catacombs here. We got to experience about 30 minutes of just the incredible faith of the early Catholic Christians, living it out, going down there to celebrate Mass, so avoiding martyrdom, but many of them being martyred, a lot of children locations where they had died. I mean, it's just really touching and incredible. But then when we went up into the Basilica, what was even more remarkable, there was the first-class relics of Saint Sebastian, and we know the story of Saint Sebastian, where he actually was martyred twice. And the first time he was shot full of arrows, and then he was brought back to life, or nursed back to life. So he could have run away, but he didn't. He stayed, and he decided, you know what? I'm going to go attempt to talk to the emperor again a couple years later. And the emperor, who thought he was dead, was just completely shocked, refused to talk to him, put him in prison, where he was executed by being beaten to death. But the courage of Saint Sebastian just really shines forth in this place. In addition, we also have the footprints of Christ. There's that famous story in the apocryphal books of St. Peter, who was in chains, and then he escaped, and he was escaping Rome so that he could continue on the tradition. And he met Christ along the way, and he looked at him and he said, Domine quo vadis, which means, Lord, where are you going? And Christ said, I'm going back to Rome to be martyred a second time. At which point St. Peter felt within himself the clear message that he too, it's time to go back, and that his martyrdom is what Christ was calling him towards. And so courageously, he accepted the will of God, and he turned and he went back. And so acceptance of the will of God is absolutely paramount, but it's just the beginning, right? We have to be courageous men of God. We have to be courageous men. We have to pray for that grace of courage to persevere in the difficulties and the sufferings of our lives. So know that I'm praying for courage for you. God bless.